Hi, friends. I come to you on Good Friday. Um, and I just wanted to quickly say before I go over what's happening this week in our class or next week, how fitting I feel like today is to be celebrating Good Friday. This is a day where we mark the death of Jesus and a day of great grief and sadness, and where his followers thought that there was no hope. And this was kind of the end and full of darkness. And here we are, and at least in San Diego, it's pretty dark outside and it's raining, which, as I said to my son Christian yesterday, it's raining kind of feels like when the sky is crying. And I don't know about you, but I'm sure experiencing waves of sadness and grief and loss, frustration, anxiety, all of that. And so it feels fitting to have a day where we get to kind of sit in that and embrace that pain and suffering and be still. We know, thankfully, that hope is coming metaphorically in 2 days when we get to celebrate Easter, but even still, that is going to look so different for us. We don't get to be with our loved ones, our church community face to face. I have the added bummer. My birthday is on Easter this year, and so I don't get to celebrate it in the ways that I would have liked. My sister and her family were actually supposed to be here staying with us this Easter weekend, and I am so sad that that's not happening. So I just encourage you this Easter weekend to sit with the rhythms of Good Friday and Easter. And I don't know about you, but growing up, I always struggled with not being able to feel inside all of the excitement that Easter was supposed to bring. I would see all these big celebrations and I knew cognitively what Easter was about, but I had a really hard time feeling it inside often as a kid. And even that still follows me as an adult sometimes. And I felt a lot of guilt and shame for why I couldn't feel so excited about this glorious Christian holiday. And so for once, Good Friday, it feels right. It feels right to be in a time of mourning and darkness with the rest of our world. But we do know that there is hope, that this too shall pass, and that new life and new ways of being will spring from this. And I'm thankful for that. So that is those are my thoughts on Easter. You don't have to reply to the announcement this week because I know technically you're on break from Thursday, which was yesterday, through Monday. But if you would like to post something, I'm curious if you have found any ways this weekend to creatively or meaningfully celebrate Easter. So if you want to share that, I would love to hear from that. I always love hearing from you all. So let me share my screen. I'm going to show you just really briefly. We don't have class on Monday because of Easter break, but just to kind of be thinking ahead. So our next class is Monday, April 20th, where we will have a live class. It's our only live Zoom class. And we're going to be having a panel of sophomore, junior, and senior nursing students to come in and answer questions and talk with you about how to survive nursing school. It's going to be really meaningful. It's always a great time. So please come on here to this lovely discussion board at the bottom and just post your questions. This is what I'm going to share with our panelists ahead of time so they're ready. So far, Sam and Rachel have posted some questions. Thank you guys for doing that. Please, you guys, post them here. Love to hear from you ahead of time. And then, thanks for hanging with me with all of the frustration and anxiety about honor lock with our exam and the regrading and all that. It was a nightmare for you and for me. We got through it. And if any of you are still concerned about your grade, we can set up a time to Zoom and go over your exam. Happy to do that with you. So what else is coming up next Monday is your Tell the Story paper. So this is the paper where you have interviewed a professional, doesn't have to be a nursing professional, any professional, and you've talked about how they've managed crises in their careers and how they've developed resilience and how they've coped. Please use this, the rubric, the updated rubric is in the syllabus. I've also updated it here too. The updated rubric here talks about how you need to identify 3 challenges or failures that they have dealt with in their career, 3 ways that they have exemplified servant leadership, and then 3 strategies that they use to cope or develop resilience. Make sure that you have it double spaced, 2 to 3 pages. Make sure you do spell check, grammar check. You're going to use initials to identify the person that you're interviewing. So do not use full name. This is to practice the anonymity piece that you'll be using throughout nursing school with documentation with patients. And then finally, after you do this formal part of the paper, the 2 to 3 pages, you're going to submit an additional 1 to 2 pages. It can be in the same Word document or separate document, I don't care. And this is where you provide a journal reflection, talking about what you gained from the interview, thoughts, feelings, perceptions they had. Make sure that you reflect on the parts of this rubric which says how your reflections relate to leading and following faithfully, and then how your reflections connect to values of courage and humility. So make sure you cover those 4 areas in your journal reflection. If you have any questions, feel lost, you can email me and we can set up a Zoom meeting. Or if you want to just get feedback on what you've worked up so far, I can offer general feedback. I won't offer too specific feedback because that would not be fair to the rest of the class, but I can offer some general feedback to you. So happy to help you in any way I can. I hope you are doing well. Blessings to you on this Easter weekend.